Hey everyone, it's Cass back with a special announcement, and then I'm gonna finish the rest of the last video. But I'm here to say you gotta brush that people pleasing shit off your shoulder. You gotta brush that people pleasing shit off your shoulder, and I am committing to do that more. As I film my videos, because I caught myself worrying about, what different demographics of people are gonna think about what I'm saying, and that I wanna, it is good to wanna include everybody, and I still am doing that, but I'm going to speak on things the way that I feel called to speak on them, and I'm gonna brush that people pleasing shit off my shoulder and just let people take it how they take it. Take it how, take me or leave me, because most people already hate me because of my beauty inside and out and all the amazing things that I am. So chances are most people are gonna hate me. So I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna call it like I see it, to the best of my ability with integrity. So my last video cut off at the end, so I want to finish going into and expanding upon what I was talking about. If you haven't watched Ladies, Are You Living That Pringles Lifestyle Part 1, go back and watch it and then come to this one. So, I was talking about at the end how, if I don't have access to medical care, then I act accordingly, right? I am going to assert a boundary. And anyone that I am even thinking about having a sexual encounter with, if it gets to the point where we come together and have a discussion about it, then I am going to assert a boundary that I need them to sign a release of records and get tested, right? Even if they've been tested in the past, they need to get tested again with me, right? Because you need to get tested presently, because whatever you were tested for in the past, that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean you're clean now. Obviously, goes without saying. So, and even when I don't, even when I do, right? Even when a person does have access to medical care, I'm still going to assert this boundary, right? And if someone is being resistant to being fully transparent with you and signing a release of records, that means they have something to hide. So you need to dust that narcissistic shit off your shoulder, and you need to walk, and you don't risk your health and your life for people who are not fully transparent or resistant to engaging in a healthy relationship dynamic where people are working to build trust with one another. And men, right? Because I was addressing women in my last video. Please, I highly encourage you to do the same. Hold women accountable. Make them put that lid back on that Pringles can for a minute. Put that lid back on that Pringles can. Put that Pringles can away for a minute, right? Before we do this, before we do anything. Metaphorical Pringles can, right? Because if she's not willing to, show that she has a clean bill of health, you don't want that Pringles can, baby. You want, you want a pocket full of Lucky Charms that's magically delicious, right? Because women who take care of their reproductive health, that's what they're going to be bringing to you. People who have stepped into that self-loving energy, right? Who work to embody self-love energy, they're going to have that pocket full of Lucky Charms. You don't want to settle for that can of Pringles. And, you know, when I'm talking about settling for a can of Pringles, I'm talking about women who are not taking accountability for themselves, who are intentionally, you know, showing up in the world to harm others, right, with their sexual energy. So yeah, we gotta protect ourselves. Everyone, whoever you are, please be able, do the work to become aware, so that you can step into that self-loving action and, you know, be willing to face, right? This is really scary to do. Be willing to face that most people are not good people. Most people are not going to be telling you the truth when it comes to their, you know, the way that they've been taking care of themselves and their bodies, and when it comes to other aspects of their life. So it's really important that you love yourself enough to, you know, be one, facing that reality, so that two, you can show up in the world accordingly and be very boundaried in a healthy way. And if people are pushing against that and fighting against your boundaries, then you know, right? You know that something's off, and then to remove yourself, right? On to the next, because we don't have time for that crap. We don't have time. Not only do we not have time, like, I know for damn sure that, like, if somebody's not willing to prove to me that they have a clean bill of health when it comes to sexually transmitted infections, you're not coming anywhere near me. So when you know better, you do better, right? We've all made mistakes when it comes to this topic, right? So let me pause for a minute, just a second, to see if there's anything else that they want me to share. Yes, okay, so I was just remembering that I started to talk about that even though I am, you know, into creating your own new reality, and I'm into manifestation work, right? I come to the table in that way of thinking and believing with also a logical state of mind, a logical framework running, where I've got one foot in our current physical reality, what a lot of people would probably say, refer to as the real world, right? So I'm part of me is a realist, right? I've got my foot in this realist aspect of our existence, right? Because I'm looking at reality for how it currently stands now in my own interpersonal life, and then also on a large scale, how reality stands and functions and manifests now on a large scale. And then I've got one foot in my non-physical, right? My non-physical realm. Whatever you want to call that, whether you want to call that, you know, a mystical realm, a spiritual realm. And I am also interacting and utilizing the spiritual aspects of me. And I started to talk about this before the video cut off, how important it is to, when you are creating, you are becoming a conscious creator and using your conscious faculties, such as the imagination, and you are using words of affirmation to recreate for yourself in life, right? That you have a balance between that aspect and also what you're dealing with as it presently stands in your current reality, right? And that's why it's so important to assert boundaries on your self-love and healing journey, because I've heard a lot of spiritual gurus and teachers and people who say they're spiritual mystics, and no shade to them, I'm just using this as an example. Like, I've heard people be like, fuck a realist, I'm all about mysticism, I'm all about, changing my reality and affirming what I want. And I get where they're coming from in certain contexts, but when you're looking at the big picture and you're facing the real world and you're dealing with things like protecting yourself from sexually transmitted infections and things like that, you have to be balanced. You have to integrate, right? I'm teaching you how to be balanced. I'm teaching you how to balance your logical mind with your heart and your emotional mind, right? So some people are in a state of delusion, and I don't mean that as a put down or an insult, but there's a lot of cult-like mentalities that have manifested in this reality that people adopt, right? And they think they are above having contact with the real world once they get into this mentality that is one of a spiritual mentality. And what I want to say is that I'm constantly constructing and deconstructing my worldviews, right? Even though I'm incorporating what some people may call a mystical or metaphysical or spiritual perspective, right, into my content, it doesn't mean that I align with like the New Age movement or other spiritual gurus, okay? I have a lot of objections when it comes to people who are a part of the law of attraction and manifestation, communities who are making all these claims. I have a lot of objections that I've been hearing from different cult-like leaders and cult-like followings when it comes to these concepts and theories and belief systems, okay? And so my purpose and what my passion is to take the good, right? Take what works from these cult-like manifestations, right? Because we've all been socialized to be on the receiving end of being indoctrinated in a cult-like way. Take the aspects of it to the best of my ability, those aspects that have created cult-like groups of people, really be able to step back and look at it from a logical standpoint. And we're going to integrate the good and constantly be reevaluating ourselves, what we think, what we believe, and not just be following somebody or doing something because somebody said so, right? This is why I encourage you to have a scientific mind. And also, I have a video on a different social media platform where I encourage people to question what I'm saying, because I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly learning new information, right? And this is why I'm open to constructive criticism. So this is really important when you are going on a journey to heal, that you're also using your logical mind as you're recreating to protect yourself. Now, this is a true art form when it comes to manifestation, right? Because when you're manifesting, the majority of the time you're going to be wanting to focus on what it is that you want to experience in life, right? And also be letting yourself feel and acknowledge feel into what you need to be feeling into in the moments where, you know, it's healthy to do so, right? Because we don't want to spiritually bypass reality. We don't want to be involved in toxic positive focus or positive thinking, but this is a true art form to have one foot right in the physical reality, right, as it currently exists. Face it for what it is, not be delusional, right? Removing your delusion, removing your sense of being naive, being able to, because we have to protect ourselves in this society as it currently stands, right? Because it's very dangerous. When you are first waking up and you are, you know, seeing things for what they really are, and then you gradually move towards recreating for yourself. But when you're first facing the reality of the world and as it stands, there's a lot of aspects that are dangerous that we need to come to the table as conscious creators in a balanced way, okay? So this is what I am being guided to share with you guys, and thank you for watching to the end, and I will continue in the next video.